Cool. You guys are definitely going to need your notes for this. I'm going to cover a couple of things. First thing I'm going to cover is social media profile and some keys that we found that really can stand out, because there's obviously a lot of things you can do with your social media profile. So I'm just going to cover like the 4 big keys that you guys should start focusing on first, and then you can dive into a little bit more advanced things as you progress. I'm going to talk about the do's and don'ts of those specific 4 things that I'll mention, and then at the end I'll talk about the value of self-branding and image, and then I'm not really going to talk about the new program. I'm just going to talk about building your image online, the value of that, and I'm going to try to help you guys out. I'm going to see if I can hold the last like 5-ish, 10-ish minutes for questions if you have any questions. So if you have any questions, just write them down, and at the end, feel free to ask. Cool. So dive into it. Social media profile keys. There's 4 keys. 4 big things that's going to impact your social media presence like right now, and those are probably like the 4 big things you should focus on. Kind of like on the demo, recommendations, closings, and and phoning. Sorry, are the big 3 that you should probably focus on, and there's other things that you can. These are going to be the 4 things for your social media profile. Number 1 is your profile picture. I'm going to focus specifically on Facebook because it's one of the biggest ones, but this goes for everything, Instagram and whatnot. First one is social media profile picture. Number 2 is cover photo. Number 3 is feature photos. If you don't know what these are, I'll talk about it in a minute, but just write down feature photos. And then number 4 is the about section. Does anyone need me to repeat anything? Okay, cool. And just look up when you're done writing all those. Cool. You want to have every one of these 4 things on point because it's how you present yourself. It's the same reason why you probably didn't show up here today in shorts and a t-shirt and some flip-flops, because even though you're still an awesome person, even if you wear that, you want to present your best version of yourself in person with Kate, with your peers, and with people who are going to possibly evaluate you for a future job. The same thing applies online. So I'm going to start with the do's and don'ts, and I'm going to start with profile picture. I'm going to ask you guys, what do you guys think is like a don't in terms of like having a profile picture? Like what's something you might not necessarily want to do? Raise your hand. Yeah, in the back. What's your name? Anthony. So anything like illegal, if you're underage and you have alcohol or drugs or anything like that, anything illegal I would avoid, absolutely. Evan?
Having it just like not be a clear picture of yourself.
So what do you mean?
Like if it's either like blurry or if it's like not of yourself at all.
Precisely. So number 1, you might know and your friends might know who you are, right? But other people might not. So if you're in a group picture with your guy and it's like 5 of your best buddies, like who are you? Right? It's a little bit hard to tell. Or if you have a very blurry picture and it looks grainy or really old and not like high quality, to you guys it might not be important, right? But someone who's checking out your profile, whether it be a future employer, someone's going to notice. Right? So you want to make sure everything's on point.
Don't be like
Okay, don't be naked. It's a very good sip. Don't be naked. Cool. Here's what I wrote down. You want to use likable pictures, right? If you don't like it, if you don't think people are going to like it, don't post it. Use a picture that easily identifies you, right? Like Evan said, don't be in a picture where it's really far away and you're standing in front of the Eiffel Tower, but like, can you really see you? Not really. Don't put a picture with like 5 other people in it. Nothing like that. Something that's easily distinguishable. Pick something that's not offensive, whether that be nudity or drugs or alcohol or, I don't know, just don't pick anything offensive. Cool. Cover photos. Number 2, cover photos. For cover photos, you want to do something that's a little bit more fun and relatable. Profile pictures, you want to have it cleaned up, want to be classy, kind of like you are right now. But your cover photo is going to be like later when the prep ends, right? When we all go out and we have some fun and it's a little bit more relaxed. Your cover photo is going to be that. That's where you can post the picture with you and your friends, you and the sorority. Okay, don't do anything crazy, obviously. But like that's where you can post a picture of you and a lot of other people, or you doing that one thing that you really love, right? Or whatever it is. And you can have a little bit more fun with your cover photo. Don't make it a vector advertising, right? I know if you've been to a vector conference before, there's the backdrops. It says Vector Cutco, or like GoDM. And that's great, and it's awesome if you want to have that be a part of who you are and all that. But you're more than just that. And so you don't want to present yourself like that because there's more to you than just Vector and just Cutco. Stay away from insignias, and that relates to a lot of other things too. Like if you have like an Under Armour like background, or like if you went to a really nice club and they have like the little club. I don't know. I've seen pictures where it's like the little logo. Avoid logos and insignias because, you know, it's not their profile picture. It's yours. It's not their cover photo. It's yours. Here's my biggest tip for you guys. Stay away from controversy. This could include political stuff and all that stuff. Here's why. I'm not going to tell you not to voice your political views, but your profile picture and your cover photo and your social branding isn't just for people you know, right? People you know might know your political views, might know your thoughts on things, but your profile, your online presence is also for people who don't know you and are trying to get to know you. If you meet someone brand new at a party or just in talking, you probably aren't going to tell them like, hi, my name is Josh, or like if someone introduced themselves like, hi, I'm Josh, I like to play soccer, I don't know, I like reading a good book. I think vector marketing is a scam targeted at young people who don't know any better, and I like long walks on the beach, right? Like it rings a certain bell with you guys. Like it kind of hits a note, right? And right, like you might want to. For your first reaction as a human might be to just go in and be like, whoa, hold up, like let me just go into my 10-minute spiel and why vector marketing isn't a scam, and like you're passionate about what that is, and you might not be friends with Josh, and Josh might not be friends with you. And it's not that he's not entitled to their opinion and you're not entitled to theirs, but that's just not how you present yourself to begin with, right? And maybe if they hadn't presented themselves like that, down the road, at some point you could have had that conversation with them, build some trust and some relationship, because it is good to have those conversations, but you want to make sure you have a relationship and where you can discuss your views and you can discuss what you believe, and it's not going to affect your friendship because you have that trust and because you've spent time with them. And so you'll understand sometimes you can even sway or change their opinion, or you can change or see something that they didn't see before, and vice versa. But one is you definitely don't want to present yourself like that. Here's the beauty though. This is your profile. This is your brand. This is your whatever. So if you want to, go for it. My advice is don't. So stay away for controversial things that may include political ideologies and whatnot. Cool? Number three. I almost said four. Number 3. Feature photos. If you don't know what feature photos is, when you go on your Facebook profile, there's a cover photo, there's a profile picture, and on the side, there's like a little area with some photos and some of your friends that you can see and whatnot. There's a little section there of photos that you can select what you want to show. So people who go on your profile can see photos that you have either tagged of you or of yourself. And so that's the features photos. You want to make them the best quality photos that you have. A little bit more advanced is you can make a theme. So for Lydia, if you go on her Facebook profile right now, it's rock climbing. She's like one hanging loose and one with a picture of her friend. Right? You can make a theme if you want to. You can have pictures of yourself or with a group, but you want to make sure you don't leave the same pictures that Facebook automatically chooses for you. So you want to make sure you're intentional with your picture. Don't go by the default. Number 4, the about section. Above the feature section, there's a little about section. Now, if you go on your profile and you've never really done this, it's blank. It doesn't really say anything. It might say, like, join 2010, if you joined Facebook in 2010. The about section is about you. Make it personal. This is your chance to sell yourself. Here's what you can include in your about section. Include a quote from your favorite speaker, your favorite person. You can include a statement that really says something about you, right? Like, I believe whatever. Say some fun facts. It's kind of like your little profile, like a little area where you can write something that really resonates with you. It's your opportunity to present yourself as someone that other people would want to connect to as well. Awesome. I'm going to pause right there. Do you guys have any questions on those 4 things that I just covered? Go once. Going twice. Yes, Anthony.
So what if I had like an outdated profile? Should I like update it?
Yeah, absolutely. So like profile pictures, same. Too much of a good thing can also be a bad thing. Lydia had 52 profile pictures and 44 cover photos. you don't need that many. But if your last profile picture was like 2015, 2013, and like you had dreads, but then you cut them off, or like whatever, probably best to update that. Evan?
I was just gonna. So the do's and don'ts for the cover photo also apply obviously to the profile
Yeah.
picture, right? I mean, minus like the being like.
Yeah, so like for your profile picture, same thing. Avoid logos, insignias. You want a good idea of like a good profile picture. Like Lydia's is a really good one. It's like it seems like a high school profile picture where like you take your senior pic, but just like a professional photo. That's nice. But if you want to like, I don't know, just make it classy, something you'd be proud to show. Right? So avoid insignias, all that stuff. Yeah.
Just a comment. If anybody is wondering if it's a good picture to put up, just ask your manager to audit it, and they'll let you know if it's a good one.
Cool. All right. Any last questions on that? Yes.
Like this whole thing is generally focused around Facebook. How vital is that in terms of like having a Facebook that people can find?
What do you mean?
Because I have a Facebook, but it's not under my legal name, and I use it primarily for school functions, just to make sure I'm involved in that front. So I don't like. It's not something that would be professionally relevant.
Okay. Well, depending on like your situation and why you might have such a private Facebook, you can either open a new one and have it a public, different one with your legal name or not legal name. I don't know. Whatever your nickname. Or if you wanted to convert the one you currently have and make it more public and more, easily findable, you could do that too. I would talk to your manager, Courtney, probably just be more specific, and you can cover the details with them. See what option best works for you. All right, cool. The value of branding and images, and your image online. Who's gonna see your profile picture? Why does this matter? Who cares? Whether you like it or not, we live in an era and a time where social media is a thing, and it's growing, and it's going to be important. Right? It's something that's almost expected, especially at this age. And so you want to make sure what you're doing stands out from the crowd. So people are going to see this. Future bosses are going to check this out. Your current coworkers, past coworkers, boyfriends and girlfriends, ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends will also check this out too. People are going to look at you and they're going to try to find every single aspect of you they can find. They're going to look at your social media. They're going to look at you as a person. They're going to look at how you talk, how you carry yourself, and how you act online. You've seen this before, where some people seem like great people, and then something happened. It usually happens with a lot of athletes and people who are cast in that spotlight. But when something goes wrong, you can usually go to their social media and see them show the not best side of them, right? And that really speaks a lot on who they are, right? So your social media is going to be seen by everyone. It's social. It's public. This is going to carry on especially into Olean as we move forward. Right? When it comes time to make decisions for Leadership Academy candidates who are being possibly considered to be promoted to assistant managers, sales rep leaders, or branch managers, or district managers, Kate will also look at your social media. Right? She sees one side of you, but she also wants to see every potential side. She wants to see and know who she's accepting and who she's promoting. Right? Earl is going to do this too. So here's what I want you guys to write down. Especially at the end, we'll have like a little action list. But I want you to write down, have my profile ready by Olean. That's your goal. Because as we prepare for Olean, Kate has check marks that she wants you to hit, right? The minimum savings, the sales, the leadership training. She didn't put this in there, but I think it's equally important, the social media profile. And especially if you're thinking about being a branch or district manager, the person who's probably going to need it the most is you, if you're considering being a branch or district manager, because every single person you hire can look you up. And in this society, in this nowadays and age, they most likely will. And you want to make sure that every single side of you is the best side of you. Cool. And then I'll give you a tip, and I'll give you a quote, and then I'll leave you with that. My tip is your profile picture, all your social media profile. You should always present your best foot forward, but never really hide who you are. And there's a way to post your ideas and your beliefs and your views without necessarily strangers seeing it. And if you need help with that, you can ask me and I can help you. And then there's this. Reputation takes years to develop, but only seconds to destroy. So make sure you spend every moment being intentional about building your reputation and avoiding that second it could take to destroy. Before I head out, I still have some time. Do you guys have any final questions for me? Yeah.
So clearly, in a social media-based society, it could be a detriment to have a bad social media account, but would it be more detrimental not to have a social media account?
It really depends. Because for some people, they see it as a thing of power, right? Like, congrats to you for being able to be detached. For some people, they see it as weird. They're like, oh, who's this person who doesn't have social media? Like, what's wrong with them? What are they hiding? So my advice is, if you don't know, it's better to play it on the safe side. So it's better to have a social media profile and a good one than a social media profile and a bad one than none at all. Because no one will judge you for having a good profile picture, but someone might judge you for having none at all. So better to play it safe. Good question. Any other questions? Yeah, Evan.
How does like some of the things that you were like talking about, how did those like transfer over to like let's say like Instagram, or how important are some of these things to those other social media?
So I would say with Instagram especially, it's tied to your Facebook sometimes. So it can be very important to make sure that that's also very highly polished, but it's a little bit more relaxed because most people won't search you up on Instagram first. Most people search you up on Facebook first. But I definitely recommend being mindful of what you post on Instagram because it's also just as public as Facebook. And some things that I like to do is I like to post on Instagram, and then there's a button that says like post to Facebook too, so it posts to both. And that's way more in depth than I could give another talk on that. And Snapchat and Twitter and all those things, but just making sure every side of you is the best side, and even Snapchat is also forever, whether you like to believe it or not. So make sure every side of you is the best side, and yeah, so keep it polished. Do you have a question, Ken?
Yeah, more of a comment. With, I'll recommend you guys just start with following a bunch of friends, and then once you create like a Facebook ad, you can just advertise with them, and offer them like a job. You just put a simple post, and then you don't even have to pay for any advertisement.
Sure. So you could potentially use this to advertise yourself and your job and your opportunity next year, whether you're in Vector or not. You're pretty much an advertisement for yourself too. So that's good. So, any other questions? Gone. Thank you for your time.